Donald Trump talking to vets yesterday, commenting on PTSD, and he was attacked for it. Here's exactly what Trump said. Roll tape.
When you talk about the mental health problems, when people come back from war and combat and they see things that maybe a lot of the folks in this room have seen many times over, and you're strong and you can handle it, but a lot of people can't handle it. And they see horror stories, they see events that you couldn't see in a movie, nobody would believe it.
Well, the mainstream media is all over that. I call it desperation. They appear to be flailing. Just look at these headlines. The Washington Post. Donald Trump's gaffe on veterans and PTSD shows just what an amateur he still is. Huffington Post. Donald Trump's comments on veterans' suicide are exactly why there is PTSD stigma. And how about this? The cover of the Daily News. My son was not weak, implying that Donald Trump says veterans are weak. That's the criticism. Here is General Jerry Boykin, Family Research Council Executive Vice President, and he was there at Trump's statement yesterday in front of the vets. What do you make of what the media is saying about Donald Trump today?
Stuart, this is a totally contrived controversy. What really matters is those veterans that were in the room there. What really matters is the veteran that asked him that question. I can tell you that not a single veteran in there found that what he said offensive. In fact, we found it encouraging because he clearly understands the problem and he's made a commitment to deal with it.
Now, when Donald Trump said what we just showed the viewers he'd said, did you pick up on that at all? Did you think that in any way he had dissed veterans or insulted them or called them weak? Did you pick that up at any point in his presentation yesterday?
No, not in the least. In fact, talk to Chad Robichaux, the young Marine sergeant that asked the question, and Chad will tell you that he found nothing in there that was discouraging to him whatsoever. You know what this really does, though? It makes me wonder just how detached from reality some of these journalists are. I mean, I'm not even sure they understood what we were doing in there yesterday. We were talking about substantive questions with regards to restoration of the military, with regards to dealing with ISIS, with the important issues like religious freedom in our military, and then PTSD. And I'm not sure that if that's all they can come out of this with, this was a positive meeting. And I think Trump actually did quite well there with these veterans yesterday. And it was not an endorsement of Trump. I'm shocked at the way they're acting here.
What was the reaction of the crowd as they listened to Donald Trump's statement that he opened with and then the Q&A session which followed? What was the crowd doing during this time?
First of all, they were listening very intently, and his opening was about cybersecurity, both offensive cyber activities as well as defensive cyber activities. He was applauded for that. I think it resonated with many of those there. And then when we went into the questions and answers, he was very well received, because I think he gave good answers to this, and this was not a controversial issue that he was talking about there.
Well, I've looked across the media this morning. I can barely find a mention of Donald Trump's statement on cyber warfare, which was right at the front of his presentation. No, it's all about how he calls the veterans weak. I'm just astonished by it. General, I'm sorry I've got to run. I've got a hard break coming up. But look, thanks very much for being with us again, sir. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.